Yo, welcome to Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps, which is the show that you're watching. If you thought you was watching a different show, I don't know what to tell you, man. You got to figure out what your TV's on. And if you're watching this show on TV, I'm impressed. How'd you pull that off? This is an internet show. We on Twitch. We on packtheater.com/Twitch. No, we're on twitch.tv/packtheater. That's where we is, and that's where we are. And if you was thinking to yourself, well, I didn't mean to get there, stick around, because what's going to happen is a show. Oh, look at that. We got that one guy kind of something in the chat saying Lester. Well, to that I say hello. Y'all, if you're in the chat and you're thinking, or you're watching the show and you're not in the chat, hello. If you in the stream here, you're watching the stream and you're not in the chat chatting, then what you're doing is missing an opportunity, because this show is highly interactive. What's going to happen is I'm going to tell y'all how to survive an apocalypse, because that's what I do. Okay, my name's Lester Pipps. This is my show, Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. I am the Lester Pipps from the title, right? And the show is about apocalypse tips. So that's what's going to happen is I'm going to give those, okay? But in a roundabout way where I interview characters, people who I met in my travels and thought, wow, that's a character. And then they tell us what they's doing to survive apocalypses. And then that way you learn from them, right? That's what's going to happen. Oh, I see Andy Parada in chat says hello. I say hello to you. I see Adam R. Mack in the chat says, we in the chat chatting good. You know what's funny about wearing sunglasses inside? Sometimes I can't read. Young woman says, we in here chatting. Young woman, thank you for being here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get to those guests that I mentioned briefly about having. We're going to get to them pretty soon. First, we're going to talk to a guy whose name is Pete. He says he's an offensive guy. We're going to find out what that means. Then we're going to talk to a kiosk attendant for a charging station, a phone charging station. Her name, Tamara. So we're going to talk to Tamara. We're going to find out what's going on at the phone charging station. And I'm excited to know what that's about. And then later, we're going to get to a YouTube baker named Bradley Bedford, which, boy, oh boy, I like eating some foods. If you listen to the show before, you know there's one specific food I'm very, very interested. If you never listened to the show before, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. Now, I do see a couple of things more in the chat. That's what I said in second grade, says Adam Mack. Not really. We in here chatting. That's what I said second grade. I'm trying to understand what he's saying, but I don't get it. Wouldn't you take my shades the whole year? Oh, boy, I got to fix these glasses. I can't see. Hold on. I'm going to move my monitor closer. That might help. I really can't read right now. That's no good because I want to be able to talk to y'all. Okay, that probably made a noise. Here we go. Dingletuck says, sup, homies. Nope, sup, homes. I can't read, y'all. I'm sorry. I say Dingletuck, sup. Adam R. Max says, I can't read because I wore shades the whole time in second grade. I get it now. That's a good joke. Okay, so what we're going to do is get to those guests in a little bit. But before we do, I just got to give you a little bit of an introduction to what this whole deal is, right? You might be thinking, looking behind me, thinking, well, that's Minecraft. And to that, I say, damn, good eye. You know your Minecraft. That's true. What you're seeing behind me is a fake background, because I am in my bunker outside Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is where this accent is accurate too. If you had any questions about that, please don't ask them. And I am not willing to let you see what my bunker looks like, because I don't want you to get jealous. I want you to save yourself, not worry about comparing yourself to me, because I am, of course, a master of doomsday prep, apocalypse tips, and survival. Now, I used to, prior to all them COVIDs getting up in the air trying to infect everybody, I would go door to door to any microphone location that was open. And I would get on that mic and I would say, hello, I got apocalypse tips to peddle. And in exchange, all I want is you to not die in an apocalypse. Okay, I don't even ask for money. All right. So I go around the country, even sometimes outside the country, a lot of times to Australia. But I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man, as they say. And so I would go to these places and say, hey, here's how we're going to survive an apocalypse. Here's what you got to know. Here's what you need. Here's what you need. And I would get on the stage and I would say, the number one thing that we got to focus on to survive an apocalypse is thinking, what do we need? What's most important to humanity? And obviously, that is Louisiana culture. Because if you think about it, New Orleans is the greatest place all time. Max Riff says water. Well, okay, I track what you're saying. Water's important. I'm not saying don't have water, okay, because we got to have water to survive. But I am saying think about What else is important, right? What's more important than water is Louisiana culture, because New Orleans is so good. So, being that that is true, and I think you can all say this with me, what we need to preserve the most, what we need to focus on acquiring and having for the future of humanity is, and if you're at home, say this along with me, tell it to your wife, tell it to your kid, tell it to your dog, tell it to your wall. I don't care who you're talking to. Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen spicy chicken strip. Oh, wow, that one guy kind of something beat me to the punch. Well played, Connor. Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen spicy chicken strip. Because there's no other way to represent what Louisiana is than those spicy chicken strips. So, what I've been doing lately, especially after finding out that, damn, Popeye's folks is donating money to Donald J. I can't even say that last name. Is instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to go there, I'm going to buy the spicy chicken strips, I'm going to figure out what the recipe is. Instead of that, what I'm doing is I'm planning ways for folks to sneak in there. So if you want to be an operative for me, you let me know. I will tell you how to get inside of a Popeye, steal the recipe, bring it to me. That'd be great. Young woman says, I get it. I can't say Winona Ryder. It's okay. I can say Winona Ryder. And Adam O'Mac, no, I am not shook. I'm not shook. I just don't want to say that one big bad T word. Cause you know, shit in the country and all. Look, the country is in a weird way, right? I don't want to get into that. Okay. But if he's thinking, oh, maybe I'm not going to vote this summer. And by summer, I mean, well, maybe I am shook. Oh, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to have some water. Hold on a minute. Okay. If you're thinking about not voting in November, I'm going to tell you right now, don't vote in November. Vote in October for Biden-Harris, okay? Because we got to get this motherfucker out. But let's not focus on that tonight. What we're going to focus on tonight is how we're going to survive an apocalypse. And boy, oh boy, preventing an apocalypse would be a good way to survive, right? So vote for Biden-Harris. But let's focus on, Rachel Resnick says, what's up, Lester? I say, hello to you, Rachel Resnick. Now, we got to get to what this show's about, which is stealing the recipe and all necessary ingredients to Popeye's Louisiana chicken strips, spicy chicken strips, so that we can have them in the future. Because behind this fake wall is a fully functioning Popeye's Louisiana kitchen franchise location that I'm renaming Pipps Chicken. Okay, so in the future, after the apocalypse is all cleaned up and over, and we get back out into the future worlds where my son and all his progeny, because, well, obviously it's going to be my son fathering the future of humanity, we're going to have Pipps Chicken. People still going to know what Louisiana tastes like, but it's not going to be under that Popeye's name because that's no good. Oh, hi, anti_influencer. I watched your show the other day. It was great. Saturdays, right? 7 o'clock every other Saturday. I liked it. Now, let's get to the main thrust of the show, which is, again, stealing the Declaration of Independence. Nope. The recipe and all necessary ingredients. If you're in the chat, you want to find out how to do it, tell me which location you want to learn how to break into, and I will tell you. But we'll come back to that later in the show, because now it's time to get to the guests, man, because I'm not the only one out here fighting for the future of humanity. I'm not. I'm really not. There's a lot of folks out there who came to my lectures. They said, let me get on that email list. I sent out an email, said, hey, you want to come guest on my show? And they responded. And 3 of those folks is the folks who's going to be on the show today. So let's get to the first one, right? The first guy I want to introduce y'all to is a guy I met at one of the various open microphone situations that I went to speak at. His name is Pete, and he says he's a very offensive guy. Pete, if you want to jump on the stream now.
Yo, what's up, man? Fucking Lester, man.
Hey, Pete. Yeah,
yo, man. Yeah, man. I remember that open mic, man. No, I remember, man.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, because they weren't gonna let me in because of all the badass shit that I say at the guys who are doing stand up, man. Every week I'm at the Improv and they're being like, what's the deal with and then I'm like, with penises or something like that, but not usually that. I would never.
No, it wasn't that. I remember very specifically. They said, "What's the deal with?" And you turned to me and you whispered to me, What if I said penises?
Yeah!
But then you didn't say it out loud, and they just finished their joke, and it was, what's the deal? Yeah.
Because I warned you, man. I'm offensive like that. And so sometimes people are going to think about saying stuff into a microphone. And then I come in and I'm like, smoking weed or something. Not that, but for real, something like that, man. For real.
Yeah, I remember that because it was after that first guy. The next guy who was up there, he was trying to do some bit about how he was not very good to his wife, and that was supposed to be funny to us, and we were like, that's uncomfortable. But then you kept saying, you know who else he's not very good to? His weed.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you remember the closer. His name was Sinbad. And he started.
I know Sinbad. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had this whole different type of thing about how boys are different from girls or something like that, man. And then I was like, "Hey, Lester, you know who's different from boys?" And then you were like, "What?" And then I was like, "Marijuana."
That's right, and it's true because marijuana is not a human male or a human female. It's so different.
It's so different, man. I constantly going up on Wikipedia to find out facts about what is not marijuana. And you're right. Human beings are not marijuana.
That's true. That is a fun Wikipedia article. It's just a list of things that aren't marijuana. It's very long.
Yeah, dude. I actually invented that Wikipedia list. I go up there. I spend about 7 to 9 hours a day writing in stuff that's not marijuana.
Oh, so is that what you've been doing with your quarantine? Because that's what I was going to get to. I want to find out how you've been doing in this quarantine, Pete. Is that what you've been doing? You've been updating that Wikipedia page?
I've been updating it constantly. There's actually an entry I've been meaning to ask you about, Lester Pipps.
Is that right?
Yeah, you got a son, and I want to put his name on the list of stuff that's not marijuana, but I don't know his name.
Oh, okay. Well, you can put down Bubba Pipps, which is the name that I call him, even though my
You know what Bubba Pipps reminds me of?
What's it remind you of?
Bubba Shrimps. And you imagine a shrimp that lighted up a pipe and smoking a little bit of the devil's grass.
No, that's spot on, because actually that's why I wanted to call him that. I wanted his name when he was born to be Bubba Gump Pipps, but my wife said no, fuck that. No, she didn't swear. She doesn't swear. She said no, and instead his name is John Leroy Pipps. But you write down Bubba Pipps. We'll know what we're talking about.
What's your wife's name again?
My wife's name is Charlene Davis. She is the district attorney of the state of Louisiana. So don't go talking anything about her, because look, even though we are legally separated, I'm still very happily married to her, and she's a powerful lady.
Charlene Davis, that's Jonathan Davis's sister, the head singer of the band Korn.
That's yes.
Your wife is siblings with the singer of the band Korn?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, she actually gave him that bass line.
She wrote those lyrics,
Yeah,
man?
she wrote the bass line lyrics, yeah.
Whoa, man. I gotta put her name on my Wikipedia list, because if I know anything about that sweet-hearted lady, it's that she's not marijuana.
You're absolutely right, Pete. You're absolutely right.
I warned you I was going to be offensive today, man. I just say what's on my mind. And first and foremost, your wife sounds like a really good lady.
Yeah, thank you, Pete. Yeah, she is. She's a great lady. She does consider us legally divorced, but other than separated, excuse me, not divorced. We're not divorced yet. But now I do have a question coming to you from the chat here, which oh boy, there's a lot of things in the chat that you know what? I'm not going to be able to keep up with the chat today, which is fantastic. Thank you all for doing it. If you want me to answer your question, you're going to have to say it multiple times, because I lost the thread. But that one guy, kind of something, did ask, hey, Lester, I'm curious about Pete's comedic influences. Who does he look up to in the industry? Oh, yeah. So, Pete, is you a comedian? Who you look up to?
Well, to tell you the truth, man, I'm not actually a comedian. I'm just I just surround myself with people who I can insult and make look funny and stuff like that. As a profession, I'm technically a marijuana salesman. So, but for comedy, I really like Doug Stanhope. I really like what's his name, Andrew Goldberg Clay. And then I also like Louise. What's his last name? Louise. Andrew WK. Andrew WK.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of all these things. Oh, and Shrek, man. Have you ever heard what he says on the Minions, man? They're like, have you ever seen those guys act?
Yeah, from the movie Despicables Me's.
Always walking around. Do you know what they look like? And don't tell anybody that I said this.
Okay, I won't. I promise. Sworn to secrecy. What they look like?
The inside of a butthole that got a hold of the wrong stuff.
Oh, is you calling them little yellow poops?
No, man. Inside of a butthole that got a hold of the wrong stuff. Poop is the right stuff for a butthole.
So
the wrong stuff for a butthole would be like some Steve-O level shit, man. I'm talking about like a light bulb inside of there or something like that, man. Did you see that he duct taped himself to a billboard?
No, I didn't see that. Was that recently?
Dude, it was all over the Twitter sphere. And when he posted it up on there, I tweeted at him, "Hey, Steve-O, why don't you cut off your nuts and feed them to yourself and then poop it out and then eat that poop and make a personal one-man human centipede of offensive stuff?"
Oh, man, Pete, that one was actually quite offensive.
It was?
Yeah, I mean, that topped your other stuff by a mile.
Dude, thank you so much for saying that.
Hey,
honestly,
you're welcome,
from the bottom of my heart. Like, I don't know what's happening, but
Pete, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever called me offensive as a compliment before, man.
Yeah, man, and that was a very funny, offensive joke. I really like that. You get yourself on.
Stop, man. You can break my heart, man.
Oh,
it's
no,
so sweet, man. That's so.
Pete, I'm not trying to.
Penis. Penis.
There's Pete. He's back. So Pete, tell me a little bit about your quarantine experience. You've been down in wherever you live in. You've been updating Wikipedia. You've been selling marijuana. How are you living in quarantine? Is that apartment behind you underground?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's completely underground, but not by choice. Because,
oh no,
believe it or not, I like methamphetamines. And also, believe it or not, I like creating methamphetamines.
I do believe that, yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
Whoa.
for sure.
Oh, I blew up my house, and now it's in a hole under the ground.
Oh no, Pete, you blew up your house making methamphetamine? Now you're under the ground?
Yeah, man, but luckily I bought all the hot Cheetos I need for the week before I did it.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
so I got about $900 worth of hot Cheetos waiting for me, man.
$900? That's not enough.
What do you mean?
No, I'm kidding. That's plenty. You're gonna be fine.
Oh, thank God, man. You're an offensive guy, man. That was some offensive shit, man.
Oh, I try not to do.
We should go to a stand-up show sometime and you yell that at somebody. Be like, what did you say?
I said $900 of Flaming Hot Cheetos. That's not enough.
Yell that when Carrot Top is pulling out a mirror and saying, like, I'm passing gas with this mirror to look and see that I'm passing gas. You'll be like, that's not enough for Hot Cheetos.
Yeah, and it'll make sense because there aren't any Hot Cheetos. It's so true. That's not enough. Oh, boy.
Carrot Top will be like, that's offensive.
Now, Pete, I got two questions for you coming from the chat, man. One of which I think you already answered. Adam Armack wants to know if you do any other drugs. Now, that was asked during the marijuana segment, but now we moved on to methamphetamines. Do you do any other drugs?
Have you ever heard of a little drug called K2 Spice?
No, I have not.
It's a synthetic cannabinoid that was big from the years 2007 to 2015. They sold it at Circle K, and then a bunch of kids died because they smoked it. It was also called herbal incense.
Oh, I do remember herbal incense. Oh, no, you don't do that still, do you? People's dying from that.
Do it. I own it.
No.
But no, I don't do it.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah, because even if you own it, you could still die from it, I think.
Yeah, I usually just use it as a seasoning.
Oh, so then you do eat it?
Yeah, I just don't smoke it. That's what I consider do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What does it... Look, I'm not turning to you as my drug expert, but does it affect people just by eating, or do you have to smoke it for it to work?
It depends on what you mean by effect. If you mean that when I eat it, I have visions of Satan and I do things that I regret, then yes, it makes me high.
Well, yeah, that is what I meant. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, you know a lot about drugs, man. You should smoke a little bit of K2 Spice with me. I got a kilo of white rhino in the back of my Hyundai.
Well, no, I am married to the DA of Louisiana, so it's really a hard thing for me to do doing drugs. I'm gonna get in huge trouble with her and then the law, you know. But I do have a question coming to you from the chat, which is from Rachel Resnick, who wants to know, Pete, will you date me?
It depends on what she means by date, if you know what I mean. Watch out, because this is going to be offensive as shit, man. If what this lady means by date is to go on a romantic evening where we hold hands and talk about our emotions and connect at a deeper level, then yeah. I warned you I'd be offensive, man. I warned you, man.
Oh, you sure did. No, I do think that's what she meant, and that's great.
Oh, really?
I love making love connections on the show. I've never done it before except for once, but I do love when it happens. Now, another question for you in the chat, which actually is something I've been wondering this whole time. You know that tripod right behind you there, Pete?
Yeah.
What you do with that tripod there, Pete?
Have you ever heard of a thing called Cornhub?
Cornhub?
Yeah.
No, I know about Pornhub from hearsay, not experience, but what's Cornhub?
I do all the stuff that they do on that website, but using only myself and corn on the cob.
No, Pete.
It's offensive, man.
That is offensive, yeah.
It is?
I mean, yeah, I think so, yeah. That one I think is offensive because that's like you defiling yourself with corn, and...
Thank you so much for saying that, Mr. Pipps. Honestly, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. So when I see something offensive, I say so, you know? You see something, you say something. That's the law.
That's so sweet of you to say it. I've never had somebody just straight up tell me when I'm being offensive. And it's just like, that's all I ever wanted was for like another guy to come up to me and be like, you offensive? Can I punch you on your nuts sometime?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to punch you in your nuts sometime, but I do think you're offensive.
Yeah, me either. I wouldn't like that, man.
Yeah,
that would be like
punching your nuts.
Yeah, that'd be like, save that from Steve-O and Bam Margera, who are best friends, and me and you are just kindling of maybe close personal friendship.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd be down to be friends with you, Pete. I'm just saying that my version of friendship doesn't involve punching in the nuts.
You said nuts.
I sure did.
Gotcha.
Now, in the chat,
yes,
I do want to hold hands with you, Pete. How does that make you feel?
It depends on what she means by hold hands.
I think she probably means what you meant.
To put a corner of the cob up my butthole?
Yeah, probably that's what she means.
Yeah, man, I do. Yeah, for sure, man. And then we'll hollow it out when we're done and smoke a little K2 Spice. Welcome to hell. We're going to see a few demons. And maybe rob a 7-Eleven together.
Have you done that? Have you robbed a 7-Eleven, Pete?
I thought that I did, but once I was in jail, it turned out that it was the Best Buy, and my gun was a corn.
Oh, no. Wow, that's terrible, Pete. I got another question about that though, because you said you see demons. Is it often the same demon, or is it multiple different demons? And who are they, and how many are you seen? Tell me about the demons.
Do you know about this this little band that goes by the name of Slayer?
I heard of Slayer. Yeah, they're a metal band.
Yeah, man. You know all the members of that band?
I don't know a single one.
Well, all of their agents are the demons that I see.
Whoa.
So they're like very professional and they have briefcases and they walk up to me when I'm high and they say stuff like, you haven't paid child support for 7 years. And then they say other stuff like, you're out on bail and I'm going to call the police on you unless you get your act together. And they say shit like that. And they're wearing suits and they look like regular humans.
Wait, now, are you seeing them like before or after you smoke the K2?
Both.
Okay. Now, Pete, is all that true? Are you Are you behind on your child support?
It depends on what you mean by behind on your child support. If you mean that I'm a piece of shit who doesn't pay money to his significant other for a child that we created together, then yes.
Okay, well, that is what I meant.
Torn on if I wanted to do that or not.
Oh boy,
I
Pete,
decided, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear that, Pete. I really am. Now, there are questions for you in the chat that I'm not going to be able to get to right now because it is important that we let our next guest come on the show, and we had to get to them. But before we do, I have a question coming to me through my publicist's Instagram. My publicist at Ezra Partia on Instagram, at Ezra Partia on Twitter, gets questions from anybody who they can send me questions. I'll answer them. I'll have my guests ask them too. This one came to me from a guy whose name on Instagram and Twitter, I believe, but I know for sure Instagram is Andres W. Parada, who, wow, he looks kind of like if you was wearing a shirt and put your teeth in.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's interesting.
Man.
Yeah, he looks kind of like that. Good looking guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Andres wants to know, how do you make ketchup? Oh, okay. This is a good question because the way I make ketchup is different than the normal way. The normal way involves a lot of processed sugars and tomatoes. For me, when I make ketchup, I take a tomato, right? I put it into the leftover fry grease from when I was making chicken strips earlier, and then I see what happens. And sometimes it's ketchup. Pete, you ever make ketchup?
Yeah, man. Depends on what you mean by ketchup. But if you mean diarrhea that I allowed to ferment in the upper deck of my toilet and then feed to my chihuahua, then yeah, I'll make some ketchup if she doesn't like it.
I can imagine she wouldn't like that. That is not.
That's offensive, right?
That one was very offensive. Yeah.
I knew it, man.
Yeah, because that's
Pipps.
That's you feeding your dog shit, which is really, I mean, damn. I think Peter would have something to say about that, and I don't mean the sandwich pocket.
You be the guy from Family Guy.
That's right. Peter from Family Guy. That's absolutely right. All right.
He would not like it.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Use two Pete's that wouldn't probably get along. But that's okay. We get along. That's what matters. Now, Pete, I do have to ask you to stick around for the rest of the show. If you have any questions for my next guest, please do it. But we got to bring on my next guest.
You got it. Just ask him some offensive questions. Peace out.
Okay. Oh, Pete, everybody. That was, wow. If you're at home, you should be clapping. Now, my next guest is somebody who I'm very excited to introduce y'all to as well. Her name is Tamara, and she works as a phone charging kiosk attendant. And that's all I'm going to tell you for now. We're going to find out more. Tamara, welcome to the show.
Lester!
Tamara!
Lester! How's your mother?
Oh, my mother, she's doing great, actually. You know, we don't talk about it too much on the show. She and my father have decided not to live in a bunker. They are living in their house on the outskirts of New Orleans, and they're doing quite well, actually. Not going out, not getting COVID. How are you doing?
Good. As you can see, Lester, I'm in the Bayside Mall right now.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you're in the mall. So that's where your phone kiosk is that right?
It's true. But you'll notice, Lester, that the people behind me are not moving, and that is because I'm not really in the mall.
Oh, you tricked me. Tamara, why are you tricking me?
Well, it's not that I want to trick you, Lester. It's just that I just wish I was still at the mall, and I can't be at the mall right now. So, here we are.
Yeah, that's smart not to be in the mall, because malls is where there's a lot of COVIDs. Oh, I see. You're just in your bedroom.
I'm in my bedroom, Lester.
Tamara, how you handling that, not being able to be at your job at the mall?
Well, I miss my job, and Lester, it's really less of a job, more of a volunteer position. Nobody hired me to help charge the phones at the mall. I just love to do it. It's my life's work.
Oh, well, that's very honorable of you. You're going into the mall, you're doing folks a favor. Because when you're shopping, right, and you're trying to get as much stuff as you want and your phone dies, well, that's terrible.
Terrible. And it's the worst thing that could happen to you when you're out on your own. By yourself, your lifeline to your family and 911 is gone.
Yeah. And
And
hopefully,
you need someone trustworthy to hand your phone to you. Don't just hand your phone to anyone. They have those little charging kiosks. What are you going to do? Stand there while your phone charges? No. You need to leave it with someone so it can get a full charge while you shop.
it makes perfect sense. So what you do is you hanging out at the kiosk, protecting everybody's phones, making sure that the right people get the right phone back. Is that right?
Exactly. And if any business comes in, calls, texts, I take care of it for them.
Oh, wow. So you was answering people's phones.
Of course.
Okay. And do they know that when they leave the phone with you?
No, but when they come back, I have messages for them, information. They're usually very pleased that I have done that for them.
I can imagine that could cause some consternation for some folks, but for other folks, it might be very nice. Well, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You let us off from other words, constipation, one of them.
Oh, yes, sure. Consternation, constipation, very similar words. But they actually, honestly, I feel like if you is constipated, you's probably consternated as well.
I don't know the word, but I'm sure it makes sense. You're funny.
Oh, thank you, Tamara. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So tell me about your house. You's hiding from the COVIDs up at home. How's that going?
Right. I am in Linwood, Washington, very close to the Linwood Mall, not where I charge phones at the kiosk.
Remind me the name of the mall that you work in?
Bayview. Sometimes I say Bayside, but I mean Bayview.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes everybody gets their own truths wrong. That happens.
No, I know. And then this is where my cat normally sleeps, but he's on the floor. What is he doing down there?
I don't know.
Cheryl Crow is his name.
Oh no.
You're right, Lester.
I'm all right. Yeah, I had a spicy chicken strip that I made myself that I was hoping would be the correct recipe to the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Spicy Chicken. And instead of what it was I really just ate a lot of cayenne pepper and I've been coughing all day.
Oh no, that's not a balanced diet, Lester.
I don't eat a balanced diet. I only eat canned corn, water, and Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Spicy Chicken Strip.
I wonder if they used canned corn on Cornhub. What a racket!
I should have brought that up.
I
Oh
don't
man.
anything like that.
No, they don't have. They don't have Cornhub at the Bayview.
No, I never heard of it. I've been on all kinds of sites, but not that one. It's very funny.
You don't go onto websites on people's phones when you're charging them, do you?
No, only if I can guess their passcode, Lester. Some people have very easy passcodes to guess.
Oh yeah. What percentage of folks would you say have the passcode 1111?
About 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're cracking in all these phones, doing your Google searches wherever you want? Is that where you're going?
I'm just trying to help, Lester. I'm just trying to make sure that they don't miss anything important. One time, a guy was at the Nordstrom rack. His wife calls, says she's in labor. And I said, whoa, big time. But of course I can't go into Nordstrom rack and find a husband, so I've got to deliver the news when he returns.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, you can't leave the kiosk, but I feel like that's the kind of news that maybe there's like you have an attendant who you go, hey, why don't you go run into the Nordstrom rack, see if you can find this lady or this guy? Excuse me.
I'm a volunteer attendant. I can't afford to hire an attendant to attend the attendant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I suppose that makes sense. Money's tight for everybody, and you can't be just tossing it around when you're not getting any income.
I would need a volunteer. You're right. Mm-hmm. Would you like to be a volunteer at the charging kiosk?
Oh, well, Tamara, as much as spending time with you outside of the bunker would be very nice. I am staying in the bunker to avoid COVIDs and also to make sure that there's a human race after the next apocalypse. So for me, I got to stay down here.
Right. Okay. All right. That's your loss. I hope you're keeping your phone charged. What kind of charging situation you got over there?
Oh, great question. I do have a charger. I keep it plugged into the wall, which has power through an AC socket, which is connected to a generator, which is powered by the steam generated by all the times that I deep fry chicken.
Interesting. I didn't really follow that very well. Mm-hmm. But as long as your phone is charged, that's all that matters. Now, if you have a natural disaster, let's say real apocalypse situation, an earthquake, you lose all electricity. Do you still have a way to charge your phone?
Yeah, yes, I do. So that's what's great about my bunker is that it's self-sustaining in terms of electricity because the power that I use comes from the steam from the frying that I do of all the chicken. So I'm frying chicken using power, but at the same time, I'm also making power while I do it.
Now I understand. That makes all the sense.
Yeah, I have a turbine that basically just funnels in chicken grease and chicken steam.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got a little block here that I use. I charge it up. Holds 86 charges, this little guy.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yep, I haven't plugged the phone in a wall since the turn of I don't know when.
Oh, wow. So you have like a mobile charging kiosk. You could charge, people could bring their phones to you. You could walk around you could be a mall walker and a phone kiosk, or charging kiosk attendant at the same time.
Yeah, I do that. If I open someone's phone and I see they're, let's say, at 9,000 steps, I'm like, that's only 1,000 to go. And I'll walk around so they get the steps.
But that's so kind of you. People are so concerned with their steps all the time. You're doing them a huge favor.
I know. I mean, while they're doing a lot of their walking in the mall without their phone while it's with me. So I figure they might as well make it count.
That makes perfect sense to me. Now, do you worry at all that folks might be thinking to themselves, hey, now, where'd that phone charging kiosk lady go? How come when I got out of the store, she was gone?
No, I always leave a sign and a little trail of beads behind me.
Oh, so you used to leaving beads behind you. The whole mall floor is just covered in beads.
Yeah, I'm a regular at Garden of Beading. In Snohomish, Washington, Garden of Beading. I buy lots of beads every Tuesday. Big meetup. All of us come.
Wow, and you're still doing that during the COVID times?
Well, there's curbside pickup for beads, believe it or not, Lester.
Wow, that's a magic sounding store. Now, in the mall, when you was dropping beads behind you, is anybody coming out of wherever they was, stepping on the beads like they was marbles, tripping, falling down, hitting the head?
Oh, yes, many broken bones over the last few months, Lester. It's been a disgrace. I think that I need to come up with something new.
Yeah, you might want something that doesn't cause danger. Is anybody in the mall upset with you for all this? Seems like he's causing havoc.
Security, the management, the owners, they're all up my back. They're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is public land. I can be here as much as you can.
And do they respond, no, it's private land, the mall owns the land?
No! I wish yes. But
yeah,
I
thought
know.
They might. They probably do. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, hey, public, private, what's the difference, right? When the apocalypse comes, everything's going to be public.
That's what I say. And listen, it's all just rules are imaginary. You know, they're not real.
That's true. Yeah, they are official laws, and you do expect people to follow them sometimes. But yeah, yeah.
But I'm not making any money. I'm not standing in the hallway at the mall making a dime. I do this out of the goodness of my heart.
Hey, and if you're trying to be good, I think that means a whole lot. Now, I do have questions for you in the chat.
All right.
Andy Parada 1 wants to know, what's the largest mall and why?
Largest mall, in fact, is not a mall, but a casino in Connecticut called Mohegan Sun. Big mall, big casino, biggest in the country. Not even Vegas has a casino that big. Lots of outlets and charging kiosks at the Mohegan Sun Casino.
Mm-hmm. And so you've been there. Have you done any phone charging there?
I have charged my phone in there on my brick.
You charged your own phone in there, but you didn't take anybody else's phone when you was in there.
No, I was just there sightseeing, you know.
I see, yeah. What was your favorite sight?
Oh, there's a big sculpture right in the middle, made of glass. Lots of little curvies and whoopsies. The artist is from Seattle, Washington, near where I live.
Oh, is that Chihuly?
Yes, Chihuly. He's the one. Big Chihuly right in the middle of Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut.
Wow, yes. So one time when I was going up to Seattle, Washington to do a big important talk at one of the open mics at the Comedy Underground, I did.
Are you a comedian, Lester?
No, I'm not a comedian. It's just that for the most part, the open microphones that I find happen to be comedy open mics.
Oh, I've done the open mic at the Comedy Underground.
You have?
I have.
Well, wow. What was that like? What'd you talk about? Are you a comedian?
No, I'm not. It's just people laugh at me when I talk to them. And it's usually they think I've told a joke and I haven't. So I thought, well, what if I get up and just start talking? Maybe I'll tell jokes without meaning to, and I do.
Wow. How did it go? People enjoyed the set?
Well, I said to somebody, I said to somebody, can I charge your phone? And they said, no, I've got a solar powered charger. And I said, what is that?
Oh, wow.
And they're like, a solar powered charger? I said, no, what's solar power? I never heard of anything like that. And everybody laughed. And so I laughed.
Well, that is funny. Tamara, I'm surprised to hear you never heard of solar power.
No, no idea.
You still haven't heard of it?
Well, I've heard of it. It's a joke to me.
Well, fair enough. Now, I have another question for you in the chat, which is from Velvet Duke. And Velvet Duke would like to know, how did you get into the charging business?
Well, it was a dark, dark night in November. My phone died. Only time it's ever died. And I thought, oh no, I have no way to call 911. I have no way to call an Uber. I have no way to call my sister. I have no way to call Garden of Eden to tell them I will be late for bead meetup.
Oh, no.
My home court. And I thought, I felt overwhelming anxiety like I've never felt. And I thought, I don't want anyone to ever feel this ever again, especially at the mall where there's more crime than you think, Lester.
Wow. Yeah. No. That's every hero has an origin story, and yours sounds a lot like the Batman's.
Very similar, especially with all the pearls rolling around on the floor like my beads.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Now, Tamara, there are so many more questions for you in the chat and in my head, but we do have to get to our next guest. So stick around if you want to help ask the next guest questions. Please do. But before you go. So stick around, but before you go, I make sense. I have a question coming to me through my publicist at Ezra Party on Instagram, at Ezra Party on Twitter, coming to me from at Teel, Teel, who, yeah, I would say looks like you if you weren't wearing 6 pairs of glasses and a wig.
Ha!
Interesting. Teel wants to know, how do you charge your phone in your bunker? Oh, I already answered that. That's funny. That came up during the interview. That's interesting. Now, what I said was I just plug it into the wall because I'm not going to repeat myself. How do you charge your?
I have several different lengths of charge cord.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long, but it's about the length of my, oh no, oh, Tamara.
Careful.
About the length of my,
Wingspan. Yeah.
Plus about this much. I'm 5'4" tall, so I estimate it's about 6 feet.
Wow, that's a good cord length. I suppose that would help you charge a phone in any scenario.
Of course.
Well, that's fantastic. Tamara, please, if you have questions for my next guest, feel free to ask them. But it is time to bring them on and in your place for just a moment. And boy, am I excited to do that. Give it up for Tamara, everybody. If you're at home, you should be clapping. And if you're listening somewhere that's not your home, you can clap there too.
How do I turn off my...
Oh, she figured it out. Now, my next guest is a YouTube baker named Bradley Bedford. And I'm very excited to introduce Bradley to y'all because I met Bradley when we was out. I was giving a talk and he was giving a talk too about baking. Crazy. Bradley, why don't you jump on the stream?
Hi. Hey.
There he is. Hi, Bradley. Oh, I will use muted.
Me?
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can.
Oh, another person. Lester, it's so good to see you.
Bradley, it's good to see you too.
Oh, man, it's so...
Bradley?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on your show and letting me talk to a real life person.
Yeah. Well, you responded to my email saying you wanted to be on the show because you was lonely, and I thought that was okay.
Yeah. I'm so lonely. It's COVID. I've been quarantined for about 5 months or so, and just like I haven't talked to another person in so long.
Well, you've been putting out your YouTube videos. I see them every week. Oh, Bradley. Oh no.
What? I'm great. No, let's do this. Let's do the interview.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, Bradley, it sounds like you might feel alone, but I'll say this. I mean, I've been watching your baking videos every week. So
you have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you so much for plugging my baking show. Okay. I just want to say my show is great if you're looking for good recipes, a fun time, and tips on dealing with the tremendous sadness of an isolated world.
Oh, yeah. I did forget about that part. I guess it makes sense that you're feeling sad because you do talk about it every week.
I do. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, I have a whole thing set up for you, Lester. I'm here to do whatever you want. I got all the things I want to do for you. I got all this bread ready to prepare for you, and I have a very secret recipe to tell you. I just don't want you to leave. Can you please not leave? Can we just keep this forever? I'm just kidding.
Bradley, you on my show, man. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, please don't go anywhere.
No, I'm not going to.
No,
Bradley.
No, my roommate Brandon, he lived here for a while, but he had to move back home because he got unemployed, and so I'm just living by myself. I've been alone this whole time. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, Bradley, listen. I've been alone this whole time too. The only human contact I've had is with a woman who tried to make me eat possum nuggets, and then with the LSU football player who told me to. I don't remember what happened with that, but you might if you watch the show.
I'm going to be honest with you. I zoned out for all of that because I haven't heard another human voice in about 5 months. So it's just really glad to talk to somebody. So I mean, you want to hear about? You want to learn how to make sourdough? We can do that. We can start with some sourdough tips. I got my first. I got my starter. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. But hold on. Before we start, I have to feed him. Okay. Do you mind if I feed my starter? My starter is also named Brandon.
Oh, starter after your
hold
roommate.
on, just hold on. Okay.
Okay.
Hi. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no! Don't be mad. No! Don't be mad. I'll give you more. No, please. No. Okay. Oh, okay. There he is.
Oh no.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Don't be mad. Don't ever leave me. Don't ever leave me. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Bradley.
Listen, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You deal with solitude however you need to. If you feel like that your sourdough starter is a human being who can't leave you, that's what you got to do. But let me
now
just
you're making Brandon mad because you said you didn't refer to him as an actual person. He's been my only as you know, starters you have to nurture. That's my first tip as a sourdough. You have to nurture them and feed them, and almost as if it's a companion. And in my case, it was. It's been a companion for all 5 years, and I know if it died tomorrow, I would be incredibly sad. I would be so sad.
Boy, I would be too. I'd be sad for you. And you did say that it's been your companion for the whole 5 years. And I'm just wondering, have you had that sourdough starter for 5 years?
Yeah, I said 5 years. I did say 5 years. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't leave the house much more than that. I didn't more than for the last 5 years, to be honest with you. I did have my roommate Brandon before though. It feels like 5. Yeah.
So I thought what you were telling me earlier was that you in the COVID quarantine, you've been alone and your roommate moved out. But it sounds like this was actually 5 years ago your roommate moved out and you haven't left the house since?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I traveled a little bit and I did get quarantined slightly after. So I've been quarantined for quite a while. But to be honest with you, I don't know the time. I don't know what the time is and I don't know what days are. But I'm just really glad to talk to another person. So should we move on to the recipes? First, I want to talk about, listen, my first big tip. I'm just going to skip a few steps. I want to talk about this. Okay, we're going to start kneading the dough. Okay, just knead the dough. Just knead it like you need human affection.
Oh, Bradley. Hey, man, look, I've enjoyed watching your show because what I do is I mute it and I watch the beginning and then the end when there's bread.
Yeah.
But what I want you to think about is, you may be alone, but you're not alone, right? Like the whole world is going through this at the same time, Other places less so than
Does
the
it
US
feel like that? Because this is honestly, it's a cry for help. What I'm doing, I don't know why people don't talk to me. You say you watch the show and then you don't leave a comment, you don't say anything, and it just feels like I don't know why people are talking to me. But it's fine. I'm totally fine. I'm here to make sourdough. I'm here to make a bread, and I'm here to just make Brandon happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think that's what we want to do now. Let's make Brandon happy. Let's see how you make that bread. And but Bradley,
yeah,
I want you to get through this one without crying, okay? And I think you can.
Okay.
Hey, look at me. I'm right here with you, man.
Yeah.
Right here with you, man. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah,
You don't
great.
have to be sad.
No,
You're
I'm
not
great.
alone. I'm with
No,
you.
honestly, I just hearing your voice is it's a respite. Okay. So now I'm just gonna say, now that we have the bread kind of kneaded and stuff and folded, we're gonna want to just let it settle. Because here's the biggest tip when you settle, when it's like you're gonna have a lot of downtime, and in that downtime, the demons of sadness will ascend on you like jackals on a baby calf, and they'll eat you up let us eat you and open your open jaw. So what I like to do is make more bread. So I just pour a little bit of this, and then I add some water right here, and I just start stirring it. Yeah, I just start stirring it because if I move, I just.
Hey Bradley, I got a really important question in the chat from Andy Parada 1. He wants to know, what do the demons look like?
The demons?
Yeah, they're not guys in a suit, are they?
No, well, they do ask me about child support all the time, and I feel like I don't even have a child. I would be so lucky. I would be so lucky. But they'd ask me about child support, and then they talk about my ex-wife and stuff. But I try to tune it out. But I'm making more bread. That's what we're gonna do next, guys. Okay, as you can see, that we moved on to a few steps. I'm just gonna wash my hands real quick. Okay, I'm just gonna wash. But we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go see what the ultimate piece here is.
This is my favorite part of the show.
I had it. So yeah, this is something I made earlier today. It's a kind of more an advanced recipe. As you can see, we got a perfectly risen, perfectly sliced, and it's some of the finest bread I've ever seen. Oh, let's see. That's good bread.
Oh wow,
that is really good. Thank you. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
He's talking to the bread.
I love
I gotta
you.
say,
No,
Bradley,
I
I don't
love
see very often bread that comes out of the oven in a bag and pre-sliced.
What's that? Well, you haven't been doing it long enough.
That's true. I don't bake bread.
You haven't been doing it long enough. Okay, so here's the big tip for you, Lester. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you reached out to me, I did a lot of research because I was like another person, and so so I know that you are looking for the recipe of Popeye's spicy chicken strips. Yeah?
I sure am. Yeah, Popeye's chicken grill. I want to find that.
As you can tell, I'm a baker. So first thing you want to do, you want to start adding this. You want to start adding the starter. Okay, Bradley. Okay, Brandon. Okay. Just come for me a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh yeah. No, that's enough. Oh no! Don't be crying. No, don't cry. No.
Okay, he's got faces on his. I didn't even see that before.
No. Okay. The second thing you want to do, you just want to grab any old slicer in your house, just kind of
that's just
wherever
old
they
bread
are.
that's been sitting around. Okay.
You just want to grab it. You just want to start mashing it in.
You just mashing bread into your sourdough starter.
Mash the bread, and then when you go ahead and just pour that in there, yeah.
What is that?
You want to do this. That's the starter.
That was the starter? Oh, I thought it was already in there. Okay, my bad.
That was the starter. Okay, so here we go. And then we add as much bread as possible. You always want to have bread handy. They're your best friends. The most important thing you want to remember is that the bread is the only thing you have.
Oh, Bradley. Listen, man, I want you to feel better, but I'm also mad at you for trying to tell me that the recipe for Popeye's Louisiana is sourdough starter and a bunch of random bread. Bradley.
Okay.
Bradley.
Okay, I'm sorry for lying.
That's the one thing I don't tolerate is big time liars.
Please don't leave me.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere, man. We's connected. We's friends. Can I tell you something?
That's great. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Oh, that makes me so happy that you'll never leave. Okay, so you want to start just mashing the bread together.
No, you
just
don't.
Like this. And then you know what? You might as well just take a little taste. Take a taste because
sourdough starter now. Bradley, listen, I want to tell you something really important here, okay? In the chat, this whole time we've been talking in the chat, we've seen Sticky Feathers say, "We're here for you, Bradley." We've seen young men say, "We love you, Bradley." We've seen Andy Parada 1 say, "What do the demons look like?" Oh, I already asked you that. We've seen Cola 2012 say, Bradley's hot. We've seen Rachel Resnick say, no, call me. We've seen so many people come out here and say, hey, we support you. Anti_info hour says, let's get Bradley on our show. You know, Tamara's here.
Another person. Okay.
We are here for you, Bradley.
I could even hook you up with a little bit of marijuana if you wanted to bury that pain.
Please, thank you so much for talking to me, and I am having like a kind of an overload from all the faces.
Wow. Well, look at that. Bradley, what I'm trying to say is people's here. You know, Pete wants to kiss you. Tamara wants to kiss you. Everyone wants to, in the chat, Sticky Feathers wants to kiss you. I mean,
we got you back, man.
Yeah, we're here for you, Bradley. We're all in this together, you know? Like, I haven't left my bedroom in who knows how long.
I've been stuck inside with all this meth, and I'm seeing demons, man. Like, we all have problems.
Those are lawyers.
Can I be honest with you? I don't think you guys could tell, but I think I use baking as a coping mechanism for how lonely I am. I know it sounds crazy, but
I think
hilarious.
I do.
No, man, we could tell. We could absolutely tell, but that's okay. That's not bad.
You could tell.
Kind of, man.
We could absolutely tell, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. No, that's okay. Okay. Do you want me to still make some more bread for you, or?
Well, unfortunately,
Like,
we're just about out of time here, so we don't have time to make a whole bread. But I would love to try some pre-sliced packaged bread that comes out of your oven sometime. Pete, I gotta ask you, why are you playing with a nail clipper right now?
Because I was trimming a little something I can't tell you about.
Okay. Well,
my foreskin.
Oh no! Your foreskin, Pete. That was very offensive.
Yeah.
That was very offensive, Pete. Oh man! Now we do have to sign off on the show. We coming to the end. We got another show after us, maybe I don't remember. But what that means is, this is your last chance to say something to the audience. There's two things that folks often say. One, a very important piece of advice for folks at home, how they're getting through this apocalypse, and two, anything that you might want to plug. Pete, let's start with you, man. Anything you wanna say at the end of the show here?
Sometimes you feel lonely. Sometimes you feel glad. Sometimes you're gonna be boning with a full bag that has a little corn and a little bit of love, a little diarrhea that you feed to your dog. But that's okay. It's just my way of saying everybody have an offensive day. And then that's a poem for some reason. But then on top, that's my advice. And then on top of my advice, maybe go check out Andres Parada's YouTube, man. He posted a new video and he filmed me doing a couple videos for a couple different things, man. They're pretty good, man. I do some offensive stuff on there, for real. Andres Parada YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen that. That you definitely do some offensive stuff on there. It's very worth a follow. You just search for Andres Parada on YouTube, you find it?
Yeah, and he's like probably the fifth one down. So just look for a guy who looks basically like me.
Yeah, or if you want to, you find Andres W. Parada on. Oh, did I get that right? Yeah, sure. Good thing I did. On Instagram, I bet there's a link. Tamara, anything that you want to add for folks, for the folks at home, end the show on there?
If you need your phone charged and you've got no options, you can mail me your phone, 15639 25th Court Southgate, Linwood, Washington, and I will charge it, send it back.
Well, that's so kind of you. Yeah, just mail your phones to Tamara, and she'll charge them. That's great. And then if you want to, you can probably find Tamara somehow by following at KETEEL on Instagram. Yeah, that's true. Bradley, anything that you want to add for the folks at home in the last minute of the thing?
I just want to say thank you so much, Lester.
Oh,
thank you so much, Pete.
Bread.
Thank you so much, Tamara.
Oh, no.
Of course.
I just want to say, people out there, bread is a slippery slope.
Mhm.
You can put a lot of your energy into bread. And sometimes bread can be your best friend. Also, follow Go Finger Guns for Finger Guns Comedy for all your podcast and comedy needs.
Mhm.
We have characters and sketch, and we talk about topical stuff all the time. Also follow Adam R. Mack.
Oh,
He's
I
gonna
forgot. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's very important that I tell you what Adam R. Mack sent to me, which was a question for me. I completely forgot. I got so wrapped up in trying to make you feel better, Bradley. I forgot a very important part of the show, which is Adam R. Mack sent in a question, and Adam R. Mack looks like if you wasn't wearing an apron, pretty much, Bradley.
Uh-huh.
And that question is, who taught you to doomsday prep? And look, I don't have time to get into it this week, but I'll probably tell y'all sometime in the future. Anybody teach you to doomsday prep, Bradley?
No, well, I mean, to be honest with you, Brandon has been a really, he's been kind of my mentor over the last couple of years.
No, that's
he's very strict,
that's
and he's very, it's not a jar. It's not a jar, Lester.
Okay.
It's a friend and a companion, sometimes a lover. He's been so kind to me for the last couple times, and I always go to Brandon, but also you got to follow Adam R. Mack because he's got some hot fresh takes happening all the time every week. But mostly follow Go Finger Guns at Finger Guns Comedy, fingergunscomedy.com. There's a live show every Monday at 6 p.m. on Facebook and Twitch. Go Finger Guns, and you might see some very familiar faces on this show. Okay.
That's true. Yeah, actually, I was watching and I saw George R. R. Martin on there. I really enjoyed that.
George R. R. Martin was on there very recently, and
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, it was pretty fun time. me and Brandon laughed a lot.
That's good. That's good. Well,
we got a real rise out of it.
oh, that's a great Brad joke to end on. I love that.
Offensive, man.
Yeah, that's some offensive stuff there. I love that. Now, on that note, we're just going to end the show by me just turning it off. Thanks for watching, everybody. We really appreciate you being in the audience. We had a great audience today. Thank you all. Come back Tuesdays at 9 right here on twitch.tv/Pack Theater. Thank you to Pack Theater for having us. Thank you to all my guests for being here. And thanks again. I already said thank you to y'all for being in the audience, but I'm going to thank you one more time because I like you. Okay, the show's open now.